Hi everybody. For this notebook sample, you are going to need 2 pieces of fabric and an invisible zipper. You'll notice that I cut my fabric pieces longer than my zipper. I recommend doing that so you can learn how to finish the seam as well. And look at your zipper and notice that it looks different than the zippers we use for the centered application and the lapped zipper application. Here's some zippers we wouldn't use. This would be bad. That would be bad. Yeah. All these 4 do not work for the invisible zipper application. So make sure you have the right zipper because that makes a huge difference. Another tool we're going to need is the invisible zipper foot. It has 2 caves, little tunnels on the bottom of it. The home one looks a little different, but it should have a little circle opening and little caves on the bottom. That's how you know it's the invisible zipper foot, which don't get it confused with the zipper foot for the, you could use this foot for the other 2 applications we do, but not for the invisible zipper foot. This is not helpful at all. Or this one, this also will not work for the invisible zipper. So don't use those. Make sure you have the visible foot. Okay, so step 1 is actually iron your zipper tape. So when you unzip it, I don't know if you can see this on. If I unroll it, do you see 2 rows of stitching? So this is what your zipper looks like when you unzip it, right? But then I can unroll it and there's two rows of stitching. It's not really in focus. Yeah. Anyways, you want to look for that. So I will press it so that it's ironed like that. Okay. So I'm turned up my zipper upside down and I'm kind of unrolling it. My little portable home iron here, he's actually set on high and he's not melting the teeth. I don't think it has to be on high. It can actually be on medium, maybe low. In 10 years of teaching, I think I've had 3 people admit to me that they melted the teeth. But other than that, no one else has, at least that they've told me. So I think it's pretty hard to melt the teeth. So definitely don't skip this step. It makes the rest pretty easy. Okay, so the hard part is lining up your zipper the right way so you don't accidentally sew it backwards or upside down or twist it or anything like that. So I actually kind of look at my zipper like it's a piece of fabric, and whenever I sew 2 pieces of fabric, I always sew right sides together and I line up my raw edges, right? So that's something I just repeat to myself over and over to kind of double check that I'm doing it the right way. So I know when all this is sewn together, this is the order, right? Fabric, zipper, fabric. So this zipper gets sewn here. So if I'm going to sew it right sides together, I need to flip this guy this way so my right sides are facing and my raw edges are even. See how my raw edges are lined up, okay? And that's how I'm going to pin it. And that's how I know which side. So you wouldn't pin this guy, you pin this one to this one. It's kind of confusing, honestly. Sometimes you just have to do it wrong a few times before you really figure it out. Then with my zipper foot, I'm going to get my teeth to fit inside this tunnel. And I'll backstitch at the top. And I'm going to sew all the way down. So sewing with the zipper foot, it's really easy. It's almost like hard to mess up because you can't really sew crooked with the teeth in the tunnel. So I just go all the way down. And then on backstitch, when I get to the zipper slider, I can't sew anymore. I'm going to backstitch there. Okay. So I'm going to go take this to the machine and give it a shot. Okay, so I have my teeth inside the tunnel. A lot of people ask, well, there's 2 tunnels. How do I know which is the right tunnel? Well, if I put my teeth in this tunnel, the needle is not going to sew my zipper tape. So you would just sew the whole thing and you would take it out and you would realize the zipper would fall right off. So, so you just want to make sure that the needle is actually sewing through your tape. That's how you know which tunnel. Okay, so I got my needle in. I'm gonna sew forward. Should I backstitch? Yeah, why not? Do not want my zipper coming out. Take out my pin. And it's pretty hard to sew crooked with the teeth inside the tunnel. I mean, it's gonna be bumpy if you somehow sew crooked. Okay, we're getting to the end and that's it. So I'm gonna backstitch. Okay, make sure my take up lever's high and I can pull up my foot and pull it all out. Okay, cool. So it's good to trim my threads so they don't get caught in the tape. The teeth.
No, raw edge.
The raw edges match and my teeth is facing left. So now, so it was laying like this. So I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna see if it'll actually close. I love doing that. Yay, it does.
If it doesn't, then you have to get out the seam rubber.
Oh. Yeah, get out the seam rubber or untwist your fabric. You might be able to close it, but it just, I don't know. Fabric might just be in your way. Cool. Okay. So now again, so easy to do this wrong and twist it. So I'm gonna try my best. So this is gonna get sewn to this. How do you guys think I should?
Put the material face down.
Yeah. You can put the material face down. What I do, I like the zipper face down. So I flip the whole thing. So my zipper's face down, my material's up, and my raw edges are aligned. Okay. I have definitely sewn this wrong before. So I always like to just double check. Right sides are together. Raw edges are lined up. Okay, I'm gonna take the zipper foot, start here, backstitch, sew as low as I can go and backstitch. Sound good? Okay. Backstitch. And backstitch. Okay. So there we go. There it is. So now let's see if I will be able to zip it. Yay! So you really don't see your zipper. You can't even tell I used a black zipper, really. You know, that's kind of neat. There you go. But we do have this little business that's an issue, right? So you got to fix that. So when you think about it, this is basically a seam. Like if you look at it, it kind of looks like this fabric was sewn to this fabric, and there is no zipper. Like that's what it kind of visually looks like. So in a perfect world, we just want to seam these two together as well. We want to continue this seam line straight down. So let's look at that. Here's our seam. Right sides are together. We want to continue that, but we need our right sides together, our raw edges even. So when I get both my raw edges lay flat, we would love to just continue this seam straight down. But we can't because it's bulky, because even though it looks like it's just two seams, there is a secret invisible zipper hidden. So if I try to sew right here, your needle, it's not gonna work because it's just too bulky. So what we do is we sew right next to it as close as we get, and this is where that other zipper foot is really handy. Like this one's great. And see, it can get really close. It feels where the teeth are. I'm gonna try to zoom in. You see how there's like a little hole? Where that hole is, that's where your needle is. And it feels that zipper and it sews it, and then it can just go straight down. So it looks like it's a straight line when you're done. So let me go ahead and try doing that. Okay, so get our raw edges lined up. Getting as close. So I'm gonna, sew next to it for like 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. So be parallel for just a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna sew forward and backstitch. Okay. And just sew straight down. And backstitch. Pull it out. Let's take a look. All right. Well, real quick, let's do a zoom here of what I just did. There we go. Do you see the pink line? And then the black line? I just got as close as I could. If I get a ruler, I would say that's 1/8 inch away. But it's just really next to my teeth, as close as I could get. So that's what that seam looks like, and it should look like that on both sides. I just have pink thread on the bottom. Okay. And then this side, there you go, looks pretty straight. I just need to give it a press. You can't even really tell where does the zipper stop and the seam start, right? Yeah, so let's unzip it and find out. That's as far as it goes. And obviously I need a trim. Cool, no pucker or anything, nice and clean, right? And I haven't even pressed it yet, so after I iron it, it'll look even nicer.